Your phone is a slot machine. Most people think that's a metaphor for addiction. They're wrong. It's a mechanical description. The debate about social media's power has nothing to do with morality or wasted time. It's a conversation about neurological engineering. On one side, brilliant designers argue they're just giving you what you want. On the other, neuroscientists point to brain scans that look identical to those of people with substance use disorders. Where do you stand? By the end of this, the ground beneath your feet will have shifted. The case against your phone begins with a simple mechanism: the dopamine reward pathway. It's a circuit in your brain designed for one purpose: to make you seek things that promote survival. Food, water, social connection. When you anticipate something good, your brain releases a little pulse of dopamine. This chemical is a motivator. It drives you to act. The key word is anticipate. Dopamine is about the wanting, the seeking, the hunt. The pleasure of getting the reward is handled by other chemicals. Dopamine is the engine that gets you there. Now, consider a slot machine in Las Vegas. You pull the lever, the wheels spin, maybe you win, maybe you lose. The uncertainty is everything. This is called an intermittent variable reward schedule, and it is the most powerful motivator for seeking behavior ever discovered. The brain's dopamine system goes into overdrive. The constant possibility of a win, the maybe this time, keeps you pulling that lever again and again. The occasional payout just reinforces the desire to keep seeking. It's the hunt that becomes addictive. Your social media feed is a perfect replica of this system. The pull to refresh gesture is the lever, the spinning wheel is the little loading icon, and the reward is variable. Maybe you'll see a picture from a friend, maybe a funny video, maybe an argument, maybe nothing at all. Each pull is a gamble. Your brain releases dopamine in anticipation of what might appear. The red notification badge is another engineered cue. It promises a reward, a social validation, a message. It creates a tiny manufactured sense of urgency, an itch that must be scratched. These are deliberate design choices refined by millions of A/B tests, all tuned to maximize the time you spend seeking on their platform. That sounds convincing. A perfect system designed to hijack your brain's most primitive drives. But there's a problem with this view. It casts the user as a helpless victim and the designer as a malevolent puppet master. The engineers behind these platforms have a powerful counter-argument. They claim they are building tools for connection and discovery. The features that feel addictive are simply the most efficient ways to deliver what users want. Think about it. Is infinite scroll truly evil? Or is it just a smoother experience than clicking next page 100 times? Are notifications a tool of manipulation, or are they a useful way to know when someone you care about has tried to contact you? This side of the debate argues that these platforms are neutral tools. The responsibility for how they are used lies with the individual. You have the power to turn off notifications. You can set app timers. You can delete the app entirely. If you choose to spend 6 hours a day scrolling, who is truly at fault? The hammer doesn't build the house. The carpenter does. Furthermore, this perspective suggests the problem is our own innate wiring. Our brains are novelty-seeking machines. We are hardwired to crave new information and social signals. For most of human history, these were scarce resources. Now, they are infinitely abundant. Social media didn't create the appetite. It just built the world's most efficient kitchen. If you took away these apps tomorrow, would the craving for stimulation vanish? Or would you just find another, less efficient way to get your fix? From this angle, blaming the technology is a way to avoid taking responsibility for our own lack of discipline. The user is in control. Always. And yet, that logic breaks down the moment you apply scale. The argument of personal responsibility assumes a fair fight. It isn't. On one side, you have your single solitary brain, a piece of biological hardware that evolved on the plains of Africa, designed to handle occasional threats and rare opportunities. On the other side of the screen is a system powered by supercomputers. It is staffed by thousands of behavioral psychologists and engineers. Their job, their only job, is to hold your attention for as long as possible. They run millions of micro experiments every day to discover what color, what sound, what timing will make you scroll for one more minute. This is an asymmetrical war for your attention. And you are losing. But the most significant cost is one most people never even consider. It's the slow, invisible recalibration of your entire reward system. Every time you get a like, a comment, or a surprising new post, your brain gets a small, sharp hit of dopamine, a little spike. When you do this hundreds of times a day, you are flooding your brain with these cheap, high-frequency rewards. The brain, in its effort to maintain balance, adapts. It starts to downregulate, it reduces the number of dopamine receptors. This effectively raises your pleasure baseline. Think of it like a volume knob for enjoyment. Because you are constantly feeding it level 10 digital stimuli, the brain turns the knob down. The consequence is that normal, real-world rewards start to feel bland. A conversation with a friend, reading a chapter of a book, watching a sunset. These activities provide a gentle, slow release of dopamine, a level 3 or 4. In a healthy brain, that feels wonderful, but in a brain accustomed to the constant fireworks of a digital feed, a level 4 feels like nothing. It's boring. The damage is the erosion of your ability to enjoy reality. The phone isn't just stealing your time, it's stealing your capacity for joy in anything that doesn't come through a screen. You find yourself unable to sit through a movie without checking your phone. You feel a phantom buzz in your pocket even when it isn't there. You feel antsy and irritable when you're disconnected. This state of constant low-grade craving becomes your new normal. The argument is about a fundamental decline in your quality of life, happening so slowly you might not even notice it's gone. That sounds like a permanent sentence. A one-way ticket to a gray, muted world. But the very mechanism of neuroplasticity that got you here is the path back. Your brain can be recalibrated. The process is simple. It's just not easy. It begins with a strategic withdrawal from high dopamine stimuli. This is often called a dopamine fast, but a better term is a dopamine reset. The goal is to starve your brain of the cheap artificial spikes so it can become sensitive to natural rewards again. The protocol begins with radical subtraction. For 1 week, delete the apps that have the tightest grip on you. Turn off every single notification except for phone calls from your contacts. Put your phone in grayscale mode. The vibrant colors are part of the reward system. Removing them instantly makes your phone less appealing, turning it from a toy into a tool. The first 48 hours will be deeply uncomfortable. You will feel bored, agitated, anxious. Your brain will scream for its usual fix. This is withdrawal. You should welcome it. That feeling is the evidence that the recalibration is working. It's the feeling of your baseline starting to lower. During this period, you must deliberately engage in low dopamine activities. Read a physical book, go for a long walk without headphones, sit in a quiet room and do nothing. Cook a meal from scratch. The objective is to endure boredom. Boredom is the crucible where your attention span is reforged. It forces your brain to seek satisfaction from your own thoughts and the physical world around you. After a few days, something shifts. You'll start to notice things. The taste of your morning coffee, the details of the leaves on a tree. You might find yourself lost in thought or deeply engrossed in a conversation without the compulsive urge to reach for your pocket. The pleasure of simple reality begins to return. Your brain is resensitizing itself. That level 4 pleasure from a good book now feels like a level 8. You are rebuilding your capacity for focus and deep enjoyment. You are replacing the cheap variable rewards of the digital world with the earned, meaningful rewards of the real one. The satisfaction from finishing a hard workout or completing a difficult project at work provides a deeper, more lasting sense of accomplishment than 1,000 likes. It's a different quality of dopamine, one you earned through effort. This seems like a straightforward prescription for a better life. Take control, rebuild your discipline, but it sidesteps the largest question of all. Is it fair to put this much burden on the individual when an entire industry is spending billions of dollars to make their products as irresistible as possible? Telling people to simply have more willpower starts to sound naive or even cruel. It's like telling someone to quit sugar while pumping it into the water supply. We don't allow casinos to install slot machines in elementary schools. We have regulations. We recognize that some systems are too powerful for a developing brain to resist. But we have put the world's most effective slot machine into the pocket of every 12-year-old on the planet. and told them it's their responsibility to use it wisely. So, what do you think? Is this a crisis of personal discipline that each of us must fight on our own, forging our own resilience in a distracting world? Or is this a public health issue, a form of neurological pollution that requires systemic guardrails, regulations, and a fundamental shift in how technology is designed? Where do you draw the line between personal responsibility and corporate accountability?